In 5, 4, 3, 2. Hello Pokemon trainers, and welcome back to another installment of iStarlyTV. I am your host once again, Scarecrow.
And I am Deiter.
And today we're doing yet another new segment on our show. And this one is one that we're calling the Name Raiders. And as you might imagine, what we're going to do with this segment is we're going to upload a series of videos where either I or Deiter will present 3 Pokemon in the games we've played that we've nicknamed, and the other person will rate them and kind of talk about what they think about the name, and then after that the person who nicknamed the Pokemon will go back and say what they thought about why they named it that, and kind of give their explanation for it. So without further ado, let's begin. Today my Pokemon are being under the spotlight of Deiter, the Name Raider, so let's see how harsh he is. The first Pokemon is Van Gogh Dog, the Smeargle.
Well, I can obviously see why you would name it, but on a scale of Pokeball to Master Ball, I'm going to give it a Great Ball. The reason why is because it's clever, yes, but it's not something it doesn't really ring, to me at least. Van Gogh Dog, kind of too long. It does fit a Smeargle, but I would see something more playful for a Smeargle, maybe Smeary.
On that note, I'm not ever gonna name one of my Smeargles Smeary, for many reasons. As I've said in previous videos, Smeargle is one of my favorite Pokemon. I've called it my one favorite Pokemon before. I don't know whether that's super true or not, but it's definitely up there. So I like to give my Smeargles unique names, and obviously, again, like Deiter mentioned, the picking of this name was obvious. For, Van Gogh is a famous painter, Smeargle's a dog. The link I made between the two was the fact that Smeargle's a painter dog, and I wanted something clever for Smeargle, and it may not be the most clever nickname, but I like to look back on history and on popular culture history and things like that, so I guess I kind of made that link between the two. It may not seem like the most obvious link, but somehow I made it. Any responses to that, Deiter?
I'll, applaud your choice, but I wouldn't name it Van Gogh Dog.
Okay, alright. Let's go to my second one. This is Froggy, the Croagunk.
Wow, that was more basic than Smeary. So I would, on a scale of Pokeball to Master Ball, I would give it a Pokeball. I'm sorry, mine happens to be named Gunky, but Froggy, are you gonna name your little pup Doggy or Puppy? Come on, use creative sense. It's Purple Frog, it's a fighter. You could have named it something better than Froggy.
Okay, well, I guess those are good points that Deiter noticed different things about Croagunk that I noticed, but, I don't really have much of an explanation for this one, to be honest. I don't know when I named this Froggy, or why. I know why, but yeah, it's a little too obvious for me, even though I was the one who named it. So, I'll take that Pokeball. The next and last Pokemon for this episode that I will have Deiter rate is actually going to be Braviary. And if you thought Froggy was obvious, here's another one for you.
Chief the Braviary. My Braviary happens to be nicknamed Regal Eagle. No, it's just Regal. But Chief, I see the little headdress sort of thing of feathers on its head. It's very intense looking, but I would have to give it a Pokeball. I'm sorry, Scarecrow. The name is just too basic, too simple. It doesn't pop out to me. Braviary is very cool looking, and I wouldn't name it Chief.
Alright, yet again, actually I'd say, with Froggy, I was a little more accepting of the criticism, but for Braviary, for Chief, I have my defense of it. It may be very clear and very obvious as to why, maybe a little too obvious as to why I named it Chief, but the reason I named it that was because, you know, Braviary just seems like a powerful Pokemon, and it seems like a very regal Pokemon and a chiefly Pokemon.
That's why I named mine Regal.
Sure. I mean, you definitely see the headdress, it looks like a chief, and so I wanted something that was concise and something that would really just summarize Braviary in one brief, rhymes with chief, word. And I thought Chief did it, you know. It's a short word, it's one syllable, it gets off your mouth, it gets off of your tongue and into your teeth, and it's Chief. So I thought it was a nice nickname for Braviary. Of the three I showed you, I think Van Gogh Dog is my favorite, Chief is my second favorite, and Froggy is my third. Deiter, what would you say?
My favorite of yours would have to be Van Gogh Dog, second would be Chief, and then Froggy is just in the dumps.
Okay, well, we hope you enjoyed this first episode of The Name Raiders from iStarlyTV. This is Scarecrow signing out.
And I'm Deiter. Have a great day.